Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening. It's my big mucker, Southside, and the one and only Big Stevie. How we doing, gentlemen?
Hi, good Ox, good to be on the night with my big mucker, Big Stevie, and your good self. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
How we doing, Stevie boy?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Welcome to the big station, serving the nation. Welcome to Dream Team Wednesday, where the battle fever is on.
Dream Team Wednesday, Dream Team Wednesday. I think we've got a message for everybody here, especially for us three. Take it away, Foxy boy.
We'll fight and won't surrender, but come when duty calls. With hand and hope and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls. When James and all his rebel band came up to Bishopsgate, with heart and sword and shield, we forced them to retreat. We'll fight and won't surrender, but come when duty calls. With heart and sword and shield, we'll guard old Derry's walls.
It's never fun. Well, there's a message in there, Big Stevie.
Right, well, it's that time, innit? It's do or die, innit? So, for me, we want our team to get into this game with the right attitude. It's down to us to go with the right attitude as well and get behind the team. The battle fever is on, people, and we are the people. Always remember it. Let's go, the Glasgow Rangers. Let's get into this mob.
Southside.
I just thank Linda for her rendition as well. That was quite good.
Oh,
Wasn't
I
it?
couldn't believe Linda hit some of the notes.
I know, brilliant, wasn't it? Aye, fear no foe, mate, as we say. We've said it on here for long enough. It's a game of football, a game to be won. It's a game that we can go up there and win. So that's what we'll do, and I'm sure the players will be up for it. Get that out the system and get the 3 points on Saturday. That's what it's all about. That's where you follow Glasgow Rangers, mate.
Is football a journey for you, Southside? Every season's an adventure, every season's a journey. Is that fair?
Aye, it certainly is, mate, aye.
Would you agree with that, Stevie? Yeah.
100%. Galvanising and making history together, innit? That's what it's all about. Good times, camaraderie. Yep, it's a journey.
And you'll win games, you'll lose games, and obviously the bounce of the ball, you'll win cup finals, you'll lose cup finals. Doesn't make you bad people or bad players, does it?
No.
I just want to run something by you, boys. Yeah, I was doing a bit of this, just looking back at stuff, and I want to take you back. I think you might have been at the game, Southside. It was the 13th to 11th, 1971. Oh, sorry. Right, but I just want to take you back. And the team was McCoy. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. McCoy, Greg, Matheson, Jardine, Jackson, Smith, Henderson, Willie Henderson, Con, Steen, Willie Johnson and Alec McDonald. 9 out the team who started in Barcelona. Obviously, Colin Jackson and Willie Henderson didn't start. Yeah, they were replaced with Tommy McLean and Derek Johnson. Would that be right? That'd be right, yeah. So, just off the top of my head, that team, on that date, lost 3-2 to Dundee at Ibrox, yeah? Does it make them bad players or bad people? Yeah. That season, 1971-72, Rangers lost 15 games of football. And a team that had a few injuries, with our best player and the all-time greatest Ranger, injured, no fully fit, went to Barcelona, Stevie, and won 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
So, did all the Bears go to Barcelona thinking, well, they've lost a few games of football. It can still be done, big man.
100%. 110%. Listen, it's just a Glasgow Rangers thing, isn't it? I mean, our mentality is win every single game. We want as many throws, free kicks. We want everything. We want to win. Like robots, we want to win all the time. It's just the breed we are. But see, just what you said there, that's crazy to think, and it teams like that even lose games and then went on and won the European Cup and stuff like that. But look, we've gone there. I'm going to cheer my team off. Wherever they're leaving for, I'm going to try and go. No doubt there'll be bells there, and I'm going to try and cheer them off and see them off and give it no surrender. That's our motto. Let's go. Geese one game. Geese one game. One game. Win that game. The pendulum swings your way. They have to go to Kilmarnock away and we're at home to Dundee. Is that not correct? So Geese one game. It doesn't matter if the wind blows the ball into the net. Doesn't matter. Geese the 3 points and the pressure's on them. One game. It can be done. And I've got the right attitude. There's no white flag going up in this house anyway.
No, I did think it wasn't Southside's house, but then I realised he was just doing his spreadsheets and get them cleaned in the bashing line. It was the white flag, you know what I mean?
No bad. No, like Stevie says, listen, we're on the wrong end of the results. They've won the league, they're confident, they're just turning up on Saturday and they're winning. You know, that's what everybody's telling you. I've heard it for the last week or two, I've heard it for the past month. It didn't even matter if we were 5 points clear. They were saying we'll still beat you at Parkhead. So they're turning up. So it's your turn to go up there and turn the tables. Like you say, we've not got the best of records, but it doesn't mean you can't go up and win. That's the thing. I've heard some people, even Boy Noses, saying it, and they're already chucked it and we'll not win. We've got a 10% chance, 5% chance. Have we? Really? It's a 50-50 game of football. And that's exactly what it is. It's 11 players against 11. I've seen many a team, when you think you're going to win that day, you don't. I've seen it over the years. You know that you can't predict these games. You can have an idea in your head what you think might happen, but you know yourself, so you can't. So I believe we can go up there and we'll win. That's what I believe we can do. Always, mate. Even when I've come back for it, getting spanked 5-1, still went up with the attitude that we're going to win. On the day it didn't happen, but that's just life, innit?
Aye, of course, mate. And we've went there with good sides and no one. Let's be honest.
Right.
We've won with teams that weren't so good, but it can happen. Stevie, I think the point we've got to make is, and I think you made it when we started the show, the attitude's got to come for everybody, yeah? And it's time to get the shoulder to the wheel. We can only do so much, I know, because there's no nays there, but the team will go with our support and hope they can fulfil our dream, mate.
100%. Listen, there's no way I was coming on to a Rangers platform tonight with a white flag up saying I think my team will get beat and all this carry on, all the crap in the day. We've been unfortunately, big decisions that went against us, silly goals. I mean, Reida's goal, I mean, I hit Safamgi's into the net. If we just get by the first 20 minutes, I think, listen, even before the first 20 minutes, we should be getting the sleeves rolled up. See what I'm saying? That's for team talk. We, Brenda, we're going to have some fun. That's for team talk. What more of team talk do these players need? They get their sleeves rolled up, they draw a line, and they do on the day, if everybody turns up, we can beat this mob. And I'm not coming on a Rangers platform with a white flag. No, I want my team to have the right attitude when they're walking out the tunnel. So I need to have the right attitude, and I think the bigger majority of the Rangers support should have the right attitude, not a defeatist one.
Aye, I get it, mate. I get it.
We can their opinion right enough.
What's that, Stevie? Sorry.
I'm saying it's their opinion right enough.
Aye,
if Rangers fans want to have a defeatist attitude, well, I'm certainly no. I've got every... Listen, the two teams have been up and down this season. They've been quite lucky in the games that we've played them. Really lucky. Cheap goals. The big decisions gone their way. If we just get a wee bit of Donald Duck and dig our heels in and play the way I know we all can play, then we're in a shout big time, mate.
Oh, yeah. So he's right. Sometimes you need a bit of luck.
Aye, but certainly we've not been on that bit of luck recently. But things change. There's always one on the Whitehawks. No, we just need to make sure that we compete, and it's 11 against 11, depending on the system we pick. I would rather they flooded the midfield a wee bit and win that battle, and then you'll control most of the game. But you probably will. The managers don't tend to stray away too much for their own system when they come in and they install it into the team. So, no, just match them up and hopefully you'll pick the right 11 players. But listen, there's nothing to fear. Aberdeen stuck 3 goals by them at Hampden. We stuck 4 by them in a 45 minutes of a second half. One cancelled out because of a foul. Right, so they leak goals. Dundee even scored against them last week. No, they leak goals, but we just need to make sure that we're imposing ourselves on them, and when we get the chances, we take them, and that's it. Because you will get chances, that's guaranteed. We proved it the last time we went up there. We got chances, we just didn't take them. So, unfortunately, there'll be no support there to carry the Bears, but I'm sure before the team leave to go up there, I'm sure if it happens that there'll be loads of Bears there to cheer the team off. And hopefully they'll just carry that right on to the attitude. They'll see the passion for the support, which they know they get week in, week out. And it's just about just go there and play for that jersey and just leaving the stone unturned.
Yeah. Aye. And let's be honest, in these games, you can come down to a break of the ball, a decision, yeah. And we haven't had any this season. Yeah, with the goal chopped off at Ibrox, debatable. With the goal chopped 2 games at Ibrox, let's be honest, we had them on the ropes at Parkhead with 10 men. We accepted our medicine. Big Balogun gets sent off, and we rolled up his sleeves, and he showed a tremendous attitude. And by the way, there was only one team clinging on, and it wasn't the one with 10 men. Stevie?
That's correct. It was squeaky bum time for them. If we just showed that bit of desire, after we went down to 10 men, if we played like that with 11 men, we could have got out of the line. Listen, I'm no... People might think Celtic are favourites, they're at home and all the rest of it. Listen, it's 11 men against 11 men, and I'm going to be honest, they've got the better of it this season, more or less, give or take, right? But a lot of big decisions also went their way.
Oh.
And
I'll go back to that season, Stevie. That season I just mentioned, right? Yeah. Yeah, we lost, I think, 14 or 15 games, right? The start of the season, we lost to them in the League Cup, and then we lost to them in the League Cup, and I think it might have got us knocked out of the group sections. The start of the league campaign, we lost to Partick Thistle, them, drew with Stade Rennes in Europe, beat Falkirk, first league victory of the season, and then lost to Aberdeen, beat Stade Rennes at home to go through, and then lost to Hearts. Did that team and that group of people put up the white flag and the road to Barcelona? No, they never.
No, definitely they didn't. Look, it can be done. People are talking as if this can't be done, as if it's some sort of... No, it's 11 men against 11 men. And if our players just get the bit between their teeth and get out there and do the business, I'm telling you, we can do this. We can do it.
I agree. Southside, look, we know that we've had some bad results, and we never seen them coming, if we're honest. You know, they were shocks to us all, and the team did let us down in the individual games, yeah. But they've also shown a level of grit to get us back in this race that we didn't think was there back October, November time, mate.
Aye, 100%. We played away just when Clement came in and just kept it ticking there. And then they just got build the confidence up and we're playing quite well and we're doing pretty well at that time, you know. It just turns out that just in a couple of games leading up to it, we just... My wee mate, as you know, he said he thinks the team looks tired. Mate, he thinks since the start of the season when they were unfit and then Clement's come in and probably put a bit more tempo into them for what we had previous. He said he thinks the team's just felt like to him they looked tired, as if no so much mentally, just in the legs, just not got enough fitness in them to go to get you at the end of the season. And he said he thought that was happening around about the Benfica game. He just thought that the players had maxed out. But that's his opinion. There might be a bit of that in it that we don't see, but I'm putting it down to collectively. Players were all putting in bad performances at the same time. We had a lot of players, usually you might carry one or maybe carry two, but we're absolutely carrying about 7 at that time because a lot of them were off form, mate.
I mean, we've not been fluent, we're forwards haven't really scored goals collectively at the right times, you know, and then we've lost some goals that have been howlers, you know, defensively. And we critique the performances weekly, Stevie, but I think we're fair and honest. People might see it different. I value people's opinion, but we critique the games after the show. We critique it the day after, usually on a Monday, the weekend performance, or a Thursday after a Wednesday night game. And you will say, oh, he had a terrible game. And we'll critique. I don't think there's anybody escaped criticism. You know, and we've all got our favourites, but however, collectively, we want us to pull, for them to pull, to get us a result, Stevie. Yeah?
Aye. Oh, listen, I've come on here and I'll be honest. If a player's rubbish, you've got to say it how it is. If a team's rubbish, you've got to put your hands up and say they wanted a melody and that was that. You know, you've just got to say it how it is. But what it doesn't mean we're a bad team and these are bad players, no, and get rid of them. And there's some people go OTT with it, you know, and mistakes should be kept in-house in my book. It's just who we are. But listen, on platforms like this, you know, this is a place to do it. Come on with your opinion. Listen, I'm not going to run anybody down for having a different opinion, mate. I never will. But you keep it to, you know, critiquing the game and that. You don't get personal with it or anything like that. Listen, nobody wants to cross that line. We're bears together. We've all got the same objective. We want Rangers to do their best. And everybody supports them in many different ways. But we've got to, when our team's rubbish, one lose or draw, the song tells you, one lose or draw will follow the Rangers. We'll still be there. We're loyal and we're true.
Listen, you know the rules, Stevie. Look, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but either I'm right or Myra Henley's right. That's it. Is that fair?
Aye. 100%. Aye.
No, but listen, everybody, you watch a game of football, mate, even if you've had a positive result, yeah, like at the weekend, you know, I was struggling to pick out a man of the match. I didn't think everybody was particularly bad at that. I just didn't think that anybody shone. That was the way I seen it. People might have thought that Silver done okay. He was heavily involved in the first half, in the major moments. Like Big Sterling, people say his industry was good, yeah. And people said last night, young GB said that he thought that Lundstrom had a good first half. I didn't think. I thought he'd done okay without setting the world on fire. That's just the way I seen it, Stevie. Everybody sees a game of football differently.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Everybody critiques the game and takes what the, you know. Look, we've all got an opinion. We've all got an opinion about some of our players. I mean, they're for example, 14 games into Clement's thing, we're all talking about Lundstrom. Why would we not have given Lundstrom another contract the way he was playing? But in the last so many games, Southside called it right. And you've got to put your horn up and say the guy was right. You're going to get a burst out of him, and then he's going to go flat again. That's what the man says, and that's exactly what happened. But until he went flat, my argument was there. The fact that if he's still playing the way he is, how can you give him a rudder? But he did go flat. And you've just got to put your horn up and say, I was wrong about the Lowstrom thing. Southside was right. You've just got to do it. Just the same as but Southside will know Matt Sterling should be in the middle of that park. I think he's coming round to thinking that way, you know.
No, I don't know if he is. But you know what he's like. He swings both ways, doesn't he?
I tell you about Lundstrom even before he had the purple patch when everybody was ranting about it. You know, it's no for me. He's no the project. He's no who you can build a team around. No, he doesn't do the things that he wants to be further up the park. And we've spoken about all the things he does. And I think he was. I didn't think he was great. I thought he put in a tackle in the first couple of minutes in the game. And at one point he picked the ball up in front of the dugout, and did you see him? He just put his foot in it and stood there and didn't even move with the ball. Then walked it on, and decided to pass it. Sterling, middle of the park, right centre mid to do a job. Meantime, aye. But I'll tell you now, I'll live and die as always. When Clement goes and gets his own players, Sterling will no play right wing, left wing, or probably in this middle of that midfield. He'll go and get a proper midfielder that will do the job he requires something to do.
I think he's there, and I'm going to say who I think it reminds me of, and different types, different positions. Yeah. When Ferguson came in for St Mirren, Fergie came in and played up top with St Mirren, basically some of the time centre forward. And where was his most successful time for us? He played at defensive mid and hardly went above past the halfway line. I think we've got a guy there, and we've just stumbled on something Southside. Now you might be proved to be right, but I'm only seeing the speed because he gets there that quick. That U-turn defence into attack so quick because he gets in tackle players so quick because he's close to them in the middle of the park because the guy is quick.
We've debated it, haven't we? You've been on the phone. We've debated it after games.
Yes, we have once or twice.
Right, but I'm no him. Listen, we all say we've got a problem at right back. So why don't we just put the guy there when the time's right and play him at right back? Then he'll stop goals probably because he's physical and that. You'll be able to handle most wingers. Look at most of the wingers in the Premier League. You think he'd be able to not be worried about any of them. And should come on one that may go forward in whatever system he puts forward next year and the way he wants to play with his new players, then that will be up to come on. But you're solving a problem at right back. You might have the guy who'll just go in there and he will just not be losing goals for that position. And he'll do a right good solid job. And we'll get a proper midfielder who knows the game in midfield, who come on once, and then it'll go in and do the things, maybe the size and build a John Lundstrom. But if it goes further up the park, puts the passes through, can break the play up, box to box, don't get caught in tight situations, can play B1-2s. No, something similar to what
the player you're looking for is here, but they're hard to find, mate.
He's no here. He's no got the finesse. He's no good in tight situations.
Man, he's here on the call just now.
I know Stevie.
No.
I know what you're getting at.
He always kicked his left foot.
But I get what you're saying. I thought Cantwell was actually pretty decent. I thought he was trying to go on the ball quite a lot and was buzzing about. I thought he showed up more than most of the players on at the weekend. I thought if anything was going to happen, it was going to come for him in the time he was on the park.
Aye. Listen, we hope that Big John has an outstanding game on Saturday, and we're talking about it in a different light. I think, to be fair, on John Lundstrom, the contracts thing, I think you've got to look at the economics, Stevie, and the age of the guy, and we've got to be sensible. That's what we've got to be. And if you can get somebody in who's younger and has got a sell-on value and is similar, he's similar, but just slightly more consistent because he's younger, about the pick, you've improved your team. That's the hard bit. And to run a football team, to run a football club at our level, you've got to make big and tough decisions. You know what it's like, big man.
100%. Listen, I totally agree with Southside where on Lundstrom. It's when you got that level up, it's when you get into Europe, whether it be the Europe or the Champions League, you can see how slow he is compared to some of the young boys. Fast pace, you know what I mean? He gets caught, you can see his yards off it. You know? And it's like half a yard here in Scottish football, but it's like a yard in Europe, you know. And listen, he has, what age is Lundstrom? What? 28, 29?
Close to 31, is he, no?
Is he no? Is he? It's not 31, is he?
I think he's 30, but I could be wrong. You know, you're right, Steve, in what you're saying. In Europe, it's too quick.
I think his age is with me, Southside, but I'll check it out.
Aye.
Listen, the big man had a bust. You were totally right. I just hope Saturday, he probably knows what he's doing now anyway. So I hope he gives us everything he's got here on Saturday. And I'll tell you what, guys, see if our team dare us and pull us off. See all the Rangers fans that have put their white flags up and they want to go and look in the mirror because they talk about our team having the right attitude. And I'm telling you, our fans should have the right attitude. I know someone will say it, but you've got to be realistic, not the rest of it. It's 11 men against 11 men. Celtic are no great shakes. They've carried a bit of luck against us and big decisions have went against us. And I'm telling you right now, it's 11 men against 11 men.
Yeah.
Attitude's right. I'll be wherever I'm going. I'm not going to mention where I'm going, but anyway, I'll be cheering the bells on. There'll be no white flag here. Not a chance yet until it's mathematical. Can't do nothing. Then my flag will never go up. Never ever. I'll back the Rangers with every last breath.
John Lundstrom was 30 there, and
30 was he? I thought he was
30 in February there. Yeah. So economics come into it, and you've got to learn and develop, and your business model and all that comes into it. Sometimes it's no personal Southside, but you've got to make these big decisions, yeah.
Listen, we've had a lot of big decisions to make the last few seasons, and we've made some mistakes in some of the signings, as we've talked about, who the manager even made before come on. Will probably work for us, but it's a rebuild. And honestly, we need a wee bit more energy and a bit more about us. And John Lundstrom, what's he here 3 seasons now? 3 years. What you talking? Maybe you get a wee purple patch for 6 weeks and that, and then you get back to a bit of normality again. Then you've got another wee purple patch at him. Always be remembered for scoring the goal against Leipzig, obviously, to get us to the final. But
and the goal against Dortmund away, mate.
Aye, it was some finished. I mean, the whole team that night were unbelievable that night.
Where are they now, Dortmund? Where are they?
Aye, we're into a final.
Aye, all right. So you can beat teams on a one-off game when you have to. It can go for you, Southside.
Of course you can. I mean, listen, it's a game of football, and you can always form goes out the window. You can write the teams down in a bit of paper. It means nothing until you get on that part. We have played some decent football for a while. We did get things going. We had a good press. We were scoring goals. We had a wee bit more about us, and then recently we went a wee bit flatter. Performance has been off slightly. Results certainly did, and then you seen that the effort and a bit more desire and a bit more up for it when we played Hearts at Hampden with that bit of performance. And then obviously you look at St Mirren where we looked pretty ordinary again, and we were part of the side. We were lucky that day to get away from there with the 3 points because the goalkeeper made 2 mistakes. We were poor, but then and just there at the weekend they were saying, well, we scored 4, but most people said we could have had 5, 6, 7, and we probably could have. But
I just think we left a couple of goals out there when it went 3-1. They were gone, and I think if we'd have just kept playing at tempo. I was talking to Mr. Fox, and Mr. Fox is like, they played it like a normal game of football, 3-1 up, just keep the ball, play the legs. I said, but the circumstances don't dictate that. They should just try to go forward because goals could come into it. Now, I'm not saying we would have got 7, 8, 9, Stevie. What I'm saying, in my opinion, I think we left potentially a couple of goals out there, yeah?
Aye. Aye, well, listen, yeah, I've heard a couple of podcasts and all people coming on and moaning about how we still had 20 odd minutes and we never done nothing and goals are everything and all the rest of it. I mean, the same guys are running the team down, and then so if you're running the team down and you think they're bad, but do you know they accepted 4-1 before a ball was kicked? I certainly
you would have thought that was possible. Listen, you two, I'm going to have to go for a few minutes Southside. I just need to go.
All right, well, I'll need to go now then. Stevie, just order the photo.
All right.
You're gone where? Listen, I think it's about time with that tune.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
It was fair to say that tune was sponsored by Go Bathrooms Southside.
Aye, Go Bathrooms.
For all your toilet needs.
Again, there's a message in there. Big Stevie.
Yes, and the message is simple. They never get up at the point, did they? We're not going to get up at the pigsty. So, come on, Rangers fans, get your powder, make your preparations. Oh, come on, let's get the battle fever on. It's Dream Team Wednesday. Let's phone up and let us know how you're feeling. Surely you've got the battle fever on.
Yes, as Jimmy Street said, he said on Facebook there, anybody that run at half time and they took a 4-1 victory, and he's spot on at the weekend. He's spot on, yeah. Yep. You know, but it's time to get behind the team. So, as I said, come and join us. 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you. Southside.
Aye, everything from everyone. That's what the banner said, no, and that's what the support was, the message the support gave it. So that's what it's about. Fear no foe, mate. Fear no foe. They're no any good shakes, you know. And when they're all feeling confident and they're just turning up for a bit of fun, a wee party, it's always good to just go and batter that door right down. And hopefully this team will take that on Saturday.
Give us everything I've got. Listen, we know we're struggling. We've not got a lot of first picks, particularly the forward area. We've not got a lot of options, Stevie, but it might be a factor, but we're not making excuses. Stevie? Southside.
No, we know we've got. Listen, if we had some of the players back and the ones out without the long-term injuries, if we could have had Seema on the park, Danilo on the park, Cortez on the park, since he was a new signing that Clermont brought in, it'd be a lot better for the front line. But even to have two of them, out the three would have been good. But listen, we're going with what we've got. I said it'll be back in January if we didn't sign anybody and we didn't get Shankland or anybody else. then we go with what we've got. So it's got us to this spot. Because let's be honest, there's no many people thought that we were going to get ourselves in with a chance. I get a chance of winning the league. We've picked up the first trophy of the season, and we're in the Scottish Cup final. But the most important thing is everything's geared towards Saturday. So hopefully the players will have that rest. I do read into a wee bit of what Hadji said to me, Hawks, that maybe the players at certain times, and maybe the game on Sunday was a reason for it, when you said maybe they didn't go gung-ho and we wanted them to get up the park and try and score more goals. Maybe the energy levels are a bit short in some of the players and ones he's bringing on, and maybe we're not actually seeing it. You know, you're hoping that they're going to keep the energy levels up and keep going and try and get more goals, but maybe for the majority of the players, and they also took Lundstrom off. And obviously, no one was thinking, I seen him going off because I thought, well, he might have left him on, but there might be reasons. I know that, obviously gearing up towards this game at the weekend and make sure we don't pick up any more unnecessary injuries.
Hi, Stevie. I don't know what he's doing. But I get it. Mr. Fox said it the exact same way. Should we let people know why we call him Hadji?
No, because he might. I'm sure he might reveal that himself when he makes an appearance.
Would it be fair to say me and him had a different opinion than Hadji?
Oh, aye, definitely, aye. Yes, he certainly disagreed with you, I'm sure, on many occasions.
It'll happen before and it'll happen again, yeah?
Listen, it's all about opinions. It's good to hear people's different opinion. Just because being bigging and yourselves battering the drum down the night, because that's what we believe. There's no point in saying anything else. If you really think that you can't win and this team's this and that, then I would turn around and tell you, you know. But it's a Rangers team. It's a team we support. It's a team we follow week in, week out. And everybody goes to Ibrox that pays their hard-earned money. If they want to come on and tell us we're wrong and they don't think we can win and tell us the reasons why we can't win, then we'll listen to it and we can have a debate about it. That's what would be good.
Well, we've been joined by a great supporter, but it doesn't part with any money. Evening, old Davey.
Evening, boys.
Evening, Bert. How are you?
I'm great. I must congratulate the threes on a fantastic big summary at the start of that show. It was very appropriate, and you should play that on the team bus, because that's summed it all up. Well, it did for me when you were talking about 71 and who was playing and where they were at that time of the season. You're dead on with it, and that's what we really need come this weekend. The only thing I would say regarding that sort of scenario was back then we had 11 Rangers supporters playing, good players. We don't seem to be having that. I'm not being dismissive of them because they should be up for this game. But I think that's the difference between, if you're talking about that era and the team we've got now. But I must say what the three guys were saying, we definitely have got every reason to go there and win that game. They just got to believe in themselves. And I don't think we'll be doing that in the last couple of games. And I must say, Suicide, I think, made the point that his pal said, I thought it myself, they looked tired. I don't know what you think of that, guys.
I would maybe take Mr. Alfie Conn, whose future employers were a wee bit different what mine would have been in the same scenario. But I get it. I get it. Football's moved on, Dave. Yeah. It's changed, and they've not got the same passion and for the club that these guys have. But I'll also give you that John Gregg and Sandy Jardine were Hearts supporters.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to make any definition between what they are and what they're not. But I just think if we lack a wee bit of that fight in our team, at the moment.
I get that. Just that desire. You would want an Ian Ferguson, a Stuart McCall.
Yeah.
I get it. Understood. Southside.
Aye, I know what you're saying, Davey. You always want a sprinkle. See if you actually look across the city, how many of them are Celtic supporters that play in their 11? No. So it means, like you say, it can mean nothing. You know, Greg Taylor was at Ibrox, Blue Nose, and McGregor supported the Rangers when he was a young boy. So there's nobody else. Scales might be a Celtic supporter. That's it. Probably when you're through their starting 11. You know, unless you fire Forrest in. So, aye, you'd like to have a couple of sprinklings of Blue Noses and that, Davy, through your team, and you get that thing. But I think we've got players there that have been there long enough that know the score and know the script. And I think maybe somebody like Diamandi, he's had his first game now against them, so you're looking for him to go up now and have a better game. Because you know what it's like when you play your first one. A lot of players go hide and miss and stuff like that. Some don't actually turn up. So he's had that experience of playing in one, so hopefully he'll turn up on Saturday and we'll get to see him get forward and try and get on the ball. But I think we've got to try and keep the ball, Davey, and I think it'll come down to how the manager sets the team up. I don't think it'll be anything radical, if I'm honest. I think he'll keep it the shape, the normal 4-2-3-1, I believe. I wouldn't be the way I go. No, just because I was going there. I think a few times, even in Europe this year, I would probably have changed it. And I think sometimes, but Walter done it in his time at Ibrox, played a 4-5-1 and stuff like that in Europe. Because I think in Europe it's a lot harder and the opposition's better and they're quicker and faster. So you always don't flood the midfield. But I just think you got there and you just keep it tight, Davey, as long as you can, and hopefully we can go on the ball. And if we can get a couple of chances like we got the last time up there, this time take them first, then I think it'll be a totally different game if we do that. But you're just going to go up when you get off that bus, going up to that door, puff your chest out and just walk up there. That's all you need to do. Because you see the abuse today and how they set it up for the players to have to do the gauntlet walk. Well, they're all they're all screaming at them. So that's nothing. They should be able to handle that. Be enough to fire me up coming off that bus. No, walking in that place.
You're spot on, Suicide. I mean, every time I come on this show, I get that.
What, abuse?
Aye.
Sometimes in life you get what you deserve. Stevie?
I mean, Janice says there's a big queue at the door trying to get you to come out.
That's because everybody wants to borrow your window cleaner.
No, but I must say your summary was fantastic. The way you worded it, Ox, was inspiring, and that's what we need. We need things like that come the game, you know. And I'm not saying we've not got the players that can do that, but this is the game. They've got to turn up.
I get that. Stevie, in you come.
Sorry, I've had a couple of technical difficulties.
That's all right. Carry on, mate. Carry on.
I've just heard about Burt's window cleaner. What's going on?
Oh God, I'm even going to get involved in this.
She's available to clean your windows, your mirrors, and other domestic chores.
Brilliant.
She does high flats and all.
And you come, Stevie boy.
Listen, I honestly missed what was getting said there. I heard about the window.
David's saying that we could maybe, he would fancy it, man, if there was some more Rangers supporters on the team. Is that fair, David?
Aye, well, not in that sense, because that doesn't exist anymore. That's us as supporters talking. That's us as the true Rangers people. We're true Rangers people. And you don't just get that by signing on at Rangers. You're born with it and you live with it. And you take it in the chin and you move on. That's all I'm saying is if we got certain players that can deal with that, I'm not saying that comparing them to the 71 or the Cup winners, team winners. I'm just saying that that's what they've got to produce come the weekend.
Aye, man. And you come, Stevie.
Aye, listen, I'm old school. You know, I love to see Rangers supporters playing in the Rangers team. Guys that you'd think they would run through brick walls for that badge. That when they get beat, they'll get home and their weekend's ruined the way yours is ruined when they get beat. You know, you're wanting guys like that. Now, they're very, very few and far between. We need Rangers supporters in our team, but they also need to play football. I mean, we've had Rangers supporters before in the team and they've not been great. And then you've had absolute crackers like Barry Ferguson and guys like that, Ian Ferguson, John Brown, all these guys, you go on and on, would have done anything for the team, anything. No, they lived together, they fought together, they drank together. No, but we've had that. Things have changed a bit, but I just think totally we've lost our identity a wee bit. When you look at, I mean, John Shooter's probably the only Rangers fan that you could probably say is in the team playing now, you know. And I think we've lost our identity a wee bit. I'd like to see a wee bit more, a few Scottish Rangers supporters pulling that jersey on, but they've got to play football. That's the tall order of it. And to get that, you might need to pay good money, you know, and that's the other side of the game, innit? It's a business too, you know, and you need to keep the books right, you know.
And you might have to produce it yourself. So, do you think about changing the tactics or changing the shape? I know your view is that managers don't do that often in big games, but would you look at it?
I would have, aye, because the way sometimes we're a wee bit open at times, and I think you've got to go, certain times you've got to go into games where you've got to just make sure you win the midfield battle. I've said it on here hundreds of times, if you win the midfield battle for most of that game, you'll control most of the game. And then what I think, if we actually flooded the midfield with a bit more, then it will force them. They'll not be able to sit and play their wee boys through. If you want to use Sterling as an example, you could turn around and say to Sterling, right, you could pick any one of the three. It'll be O'Reilly, Hatate and McGregor. Doesn't matter. Pick one and just say, right, you go and man mark him. That's it. That'll be your job today. You just man mark him. If you think the play will come through him or you think he's more dangerous, Hatate might be more dangerous than McGregor at times, man mark him. And that will sort that. But if you've got the midfield and we can flood it and they can't play the balls through to the players when we're matching up with a two in there and we're having to bring somebody back like Cantwell to come back on and drop on to McGregor, which is a total waste of time and all that after the ball. Because when we turn the ball, you want him further up apart in space where we can give him the ball. So if we flooded the midfield, we just try and control that. And then once we've got the ball, we've got players in there that can sprint up and get up and link up to play. So that's what I would do in certain games. I think you could have done that. Rather than be dead open. But he'll play the 4-2-3-1, and that's fine with me if that's what he does. But I think it gives more control of the game, Ox. I think, and that would make it probably easier for us to go and win the game.
I get it, Mr. Fox, the wise man, thought he would set up with a 4-5-1 with three in the middle of the park. And if you get three in the middle of the park supported by two, it's a bit like we've done in Europe, and then you close the space for them. My only problem with that is you would maybe be inviting the ball to always come back on you, Stevie.
Listen, Ox, I've been listening to yourself, not just yourself, I've seen it myself, but there's a big gap in the middle of that park, and it's worrying. From middle to front, there could be a big, massive gap, and other teams are exploiting that a wee bit. That's a worry for me. Games are won and lost in the middle of the park. I would like to see us flood in the middle of the park on Saturday. I really would. I'd like to see something different, and Sterling would be one of the guys I would have in the middle of the park. There you go.
Davey?
Aye, I'm with Stevie in that aspect. I think it could be required a sort of Walter Smith set up and keep it as tight as we can, because we can't afford another, the way we've been letting in some early goals. I mean, if that happens again, we're dead in the water. We just can't give that the incentive like that to them again. So I think I would pack it up, get it in, see how it goes, and then take it to there. All depends on what come on wants to set the team up. But he's definitely got to play the big man in the either midfield, or heard somebody saying whether it would work or not, like move Tavernier up a bit and play the big man at right back. But
I don't think that's going to happen, mate.
No, I don't think so myself.
No, I think, let's be honest, if he played Sterling on the right, Tav would be behind him south side.
I don't think Tav will move the position at all. I just think he's got a chance, Davey, to probably have a look at that. He sees the fitness levels of all the players at the moment, and he looks at their weaknesses. Their weaknesses is in the left back position. And if you can get at Scales rather than Carter Vickers, he seems to do all right for him. And the boy in the right back, he'll just steamroll you all day. He gets booked to try and curtail that. But I'll guarantee you, he'll be booked again on Saturday. The boy, I can't remember his name, he plays right back. Because he's physical, but we need to mix it up a bit, I think. Alistair Johnston, he's no shy about putting a tackle in and leaning. You've seen the state of Solver's antics, but he's still getting into him and leaning the odd tackle and the odd error on him and that. And eventually he got booked. So they'll be physical. We need to be physical. That's the thing. We need to be physical and all, but I just think if you win the midfield, Davey, and can control Maester out for Maester again, it lets you then go and progress up the park, and we'll not be left too open at times.
Yeah, you're right. I'm more worried about where Tavernier is with Hatate, because he get roasted. The guy was just walking by him. He didn't know where he was. He was looking left, looking right. Didn't have a clue where he was. If you've got somebody marking up with him, you've got him covered. Or maybe it takes one out of the equation, but it shuts another door for them.
You get mixed up there, you know.
It's not Hatate.
It's Maeda.
Maeda, sorry, my mistake.
Yeah, you know. I know you were a big fan of Tenko, Davey. Right, anyway, we've been joined with Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Hawks. Stevie, Southside, Davey.
Hey, well,
How you doing?
First of all, I've got to commend you in the tunes you played. That was a nice touch. But unfortunately, we as fans, we're not the guys on the parts guys. Unfortunately, if they'd half our passion for our club, then we would win a lot more games than what we do. That goes without saying. But listen, I call it as I see it. I call it in other shows as you know. I say it as I see it. I'm honest with my opinion, and that's all it is. It's an opinion. I played the game for long enough. It's easy to see when you know somebody's not getting 100% now. I commend Southside on that because he never ever likes slagging the players. Nobody really does. But sometimes you have to, because if you're being honest, you can't call it any other way. But recently we've had players in our team and they've been getting nothing like even 60%. We all know that. So for me, to have any chance, and I'm saying it, to have any chance on Saturday, he's got to shore up that midfield. Ox, you've said it for long enough about the big guy Sterling. There is nobody, but nobody can disagree in this one now. Playing him outside right, he's a busted flush. He's contributing nothing out there. And certainly when he's up against faster guys, that's a non-entity. He's got to be in the middle of that part with Lundstrom and Diamondi, 1,000,000%. And if he doesn't play a 5 in the middle, then he plays the 3, and I would play with Lawrence on the left and I'd play with Cantwell just on the right-hand side. But you've got to stop their so-called quick players getting out of defence. And if you get at least 3 guys in the middle of the park that are holding the ball, then you're stopping their 3 punching balls through to their wingers. There is no way in this earth you can get in there with playing that 2 in midfield, because quite frankly, it's not working. It's not working against the lesser teams. Never mind against them. The last couple of games, there's been a couple of goals down against them.
Would you change the shapes totally? Yeah, or would you tweak it, Blue Star?
I've thought all week, and I've said to the rest of the guys, I would have played a 4-1, 4-5-1, especially at the start of the game. I would have played a Walter Rock, simply because you know how they come out the traps. And one thing we've been dire for all week, all season, we've been awfully slow. What I would say about us, Geen, is products. I think in the last number of games, for whatever reason, it's the weirdest thing out. Although we start the game so blinking slow, we always seem to be all right at the end of games in the second half. If they could only start the game like that, it would be so much easier for them. But you can't get into a game at their midden and let them go 2 goals up, as we have been doing. So you've got to shore it up. You expect him to come out in the front foot. How many times have we said at Ibrox we're expecting us to come out and play in the front foot? We don't do it. So we need to get that notion out of our head. As I say, it's all right coming on and saying, well, we're behind the team, no white flags. It's not a question of us. It's nothing to do with us. We're no hit the ground. It's our players. And all Davey's got a point when he says, we all know about the so-called Rangers implement when it comes to the players. But it's went the exact total opposite way for us. We've got foreigners that are coming for wages. We know that's the name of the game. That's what you're playing FIBA for. But does the club really mean it much to them? I'd ask the question, because I think in a lot of senses, and if any is their kid Marcel on at Disney, they're here for a wage, which is fine if they're producing on the park, but they're not getting enough. Nowhere near enough.
Cheers, mate. Southside, you made the point about the other side. Yeah.
Aye. They've not getting. We were talking about for their supporting players and stuff like that. Aye. If you look through their team, they've got one, probably John Scales, that will probably start. The rest of them never get brought up supporting them. Apart from if they find Forrest in, but apart from that, when you look through their squad, listen, there might be a bit in it, Blue Star, they're a bit tired because they were never fit at the start of the season. Conor Golson never even done a pre-season, come straight back into the team and has played ever since. Some of the legs might have gone in some of the players physically. I still think we can go up to Parkhead and win. We're depleted with a squad. We'd like to have had a few more bodies, but I think if we get the tactics right, I think it would make a big difference. If he goes with the 4-2-3-1, mate, then we'll have to go with who he picks. I agree, Sterling doesn't do. Listen, he does the things that we all say he does. He works hard, he tackles, he's solid on the ball and that. But if you're playing out wide right, you need to have a bit of trickery in you or something. I mean, Ross McCausland's been caned for it lately because the people want to see is get the ball, get down the line and get the ball across. But I've said 10 times, there's no point us punting high balls into that box because we've not got anybody in there that can either a ball. You know, so we have to be playing through them. And if we played a 4-5-1, for instance, whatever personnel you put in there, if you match up the A3, dominate them, and we go on the ball, we'll have players in that team that can carry the ball up the park that will create us chances. We don't want to be left open. We don't want to have left 1-on-1 with Maeda because he's got bags of pace. There's no many defenders going to catch him in this league. So you need to nullify things like that. So I just think he should go and maybe go with that 4-5-1. But that's not being defensive. That's just get ahead in the midfield and then we can start to create attacks. And I think then they'll have to play long balls because if they can't play through us, they'll have to knock the ball long. And that should suit us. So that's why I see the way we should go with it again. But Colin will be different and he'll have his own ideas.
Davey?
Yeah, you're spot on. Blue Star spot on as well. I mean, that's what I was trying to say about keeping it tight. I mean, that last Old Firm game, we were very fortunate. We weren't 4-0 down at half time. And we can't happen on Saturday. So hopefully, if he maybe jinks it a bit, he'll see where the mistakes were and sort of gauge the problem that this is needed. He needs cover, and they get away with that and then keep it tight. And then, as I said, we can do that for a half an hour, 20 minutes, take it from there, and then maybe expand a wee bit. But it just depends what way the game's going.
Aye. Well, listen, we've reached that time of the evening and we'll come back to Mike Stevens' Southside, his Blue Star, after we've had a tune.
Okay.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Thanks for that, Mr. Fox. Thanks for that. Big Steve, you got a wee message.
Aye, Ox, I was just wanting to thank everybody that I was doing a wee project on the Bully Boy gang, and I had read in a couple of journals a boy called Norman Sylvester had wrote on the Bully Boys and on the main man that ran the Bully Boys, you know, and he's hold on a minute, Ox. Aye, so what had happened was I heard that he didn't have a headstone. He got buried without a headstone because his family couldn't afford one at the time when he passed away. Bully passed away in 1962, and he was a leader of the Bully Fulton was a leader of the Bully Boys, who were formed in 1924, and they were named after William Orange. And I read in the journal that when he passed away, there were 2,000 people at his funeral, and he was buried in Ridbury Park Cemetery in an unmarked grave. And I thought to myself, an iconic figure, with no gravestone. Maybe back in the day, his family didn't want one at the other gangs, the Norman Conks and the Tongs and that, or the big Catholic gangs might have went up and wrecked it. So that was my thinking. So I got in contact with Bully's family. I managed to get the grandson. Kind of done a bit of ducking and diving, asked him, I'd like to get Bully a headstone. And all the Rangers radio listeners, some of them they all know who they are, they all took shots at the football team and made small donations. And I managed to raise £1,200, and I'm going to get Bully Fulton a headstone up in Ridbury Park Cemetery. My good friend, Alec Black, who's a funeral director, he looked into it and done a bit of digging in the archives and found Bully's plot number and things. And in the next couple of weeks, we'll definitely be having a wee service for him. And I'd just like to thank everybody at Rangers Radio who donated money towards it. And I do believe, as Rangers fans, we do still sing that song to this very day, Hello, Hello. So there you go. And a wee thanks. You couldn't have done it in a better night while we're getting the battle fever on. So thanks to everybody that the small donations and taking a shot at the cards and stuff. We managed to raise £1,200.
Was there any pun intended there when you seen Mr. AB done a bit of digging?
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Well done, big man. Well done, big man. Blue Star, I've got problems if we played the 4-5-1 with some of the personnel we've got, and it's due to injuries. If we played Lawrence and Cantwell out there, I don't think the two of them think defensively, and Ruthers could go after them. Yeah, that's my problem with that. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I agree with Alexis out. Stevie, first of all, that was absolutely tremendous. Well said and well done for that. That's a tremendous gesture. Absolutely tremendous. So commend you on that. I agree with you, Ox. I mean, can we get 90 minutes out of Cantwell and Lawrence? The chances are you can't. But you're looking at it and you're saying, well, can you stem the flow? Listen, we automatically all think you come out for the first whistle, right? So you've got to try and you've got to stiffen that midfield up. Ox, irrespective of whether he makes it 4-3, he certainly can't. I'm saying it. He can't go with two. He can't go with Lundstram and Diamondi in the middle of that park. He can't do it. Lundstram's miles too slow, and Diamondi, when he's up against three, it's no fair on him. Cantwell and them, then, if they're in front, they're not getting the ball fed through to them, which means they end up, you know what Cantwell ends up doing? He ends up all over the park looking for the ball. And that's where it's not working. So he must put Sterling in the middle. So if you play with the three, you're looking at it and you're saying, well, see the last game at Parkhead, there's a classic one. We had 4 gilt-edged chances inside that 18-yard box. Unfortunately, 3 of them fell to wee McCausland. But they were 4 gilt-edged. So it's not as if we didn't get the ball and we didn't get at them. But he must stiffen the midfield. Do you play Cantwell and then who else do you put in the right? We haven't got anybody else really. Wee McCausland, is he going to be fit enough? Well, you can start with either or. You're going to get so many minutes out of them. But he's got to have 3 in the middle. Ox, for me, 1,000,000%. He can't go with Lundstrom and Diamondi themselves. He can't do it. They're getting overrun.
I don't disagree. Southside.
Aye. I just think Boystar have just got to command the midfield, you know. And I know it's not something that he's done in the past. I know he's jigged the odd formation here or there slightly. But I just think, some people probably think we could go and play a 4-4-2, but it doesn't really work 4-4-2s against these systems because the 2 big guys are running about like mad and you still get exposed a bit in the middle. So the way teams can play against you. So I just think if you just go with the 5 and it gives you room to break, it doesn't really matter who goes right. Like you say, you don't need to have an out-and-out winger. Listen, we could go without a winger. You could even fling Raskin in there if you want. It's just a body that's going to get stuck in. He's not done anything. He's not been much. So, but one thing he'll do is he'll close down. He'll get in about it. And even if you only get X amount out of him and then you have to change it and you want to put somebody a bit more forward thinking out there going forward, up to him. But you just want to make sure that we've got bodies that will be in an tackle, shutting down, and then when we get the ball, we can use it. It's not just about shutting down, it's about getting the ball, control it, get a couple of passes, get up the park, and then we can go and pose ourselves in aim. It gives them a different problem to think about. They think we'll just come and play a 4-2-3-1 and that's how they'll set up and they'll know what they're going to do. No, we don't. We come with something different plan altogether, and let's see how they react to it. And I'm telling you, they'll end up punting long balls, Boystar, because they'll not be able to play through that midfield. And then we'll have a chance to take the ball and go and build, and then we can spring players wide or whatever we need to do. But we'll be taking it away from them. We got to have a different plan. But I don't see it happening. But I think that's what we should do.
Oh, see if he plays his same way, 4-2-3-1. How does he stop Maeda getting right up at our front line, at our back kick? Because we know that's what's been getting him success. How does he stop that if he only plays 2 in the middle of the park? He doesn't. Therefore, I've said it all week, a 4-5-1. I have. But with the option, obviously, when we've got the ball, we push for 2 other forwards up along with Dessers. But if he plays with the 2 in the middle and no even 3 Ox, I'm sorry, you're playing into their ones, exactly what Southside's saying. What's your thoughts? How do you stop Maeda if you don't play at least 3 in the middle of the park? Because the wee guy's a speed merchant, that's one thing about him, and he does go for 90 minutes. You've got to stop him.
I don't think he's as rapid as... On you go, Stevie.
Listen, Blue Stars talked about how do we stop Maeda. Well, listen, I've got to say, that's down to our captain, by the way. I would like to see James Tavernier doing something different. Don't be a nice guy. Stop being a nice guy. See the first opportunity, the first tackle that he could put in. James Tavernier should put that boy up in Rosehead and let him know that he's in a game, and that maybe put a wee bit of a stop to him. But at least that first tackle, put him up in Rosehead, put him up there. The ref might take pity and say, right, we've just started the game, I'm not going to boot anybody right away. Just put him up in Rosehead. James Tavernier's got to do the dirty side of the game this Saturday with being the captain. He's got to motivate players. He's got to have the battle fever the way we've got it tonight. He's got to at least have some pass. Listen, Tav's one of us, right? But he's a nice guy. He's a nice player. He's not a dirty player. See, on Saturday, I want him to be a dirty player. Because that boy is in his heat. And I'm telling you, first tackle, 50-50. And break him in 2, put him up in Rosehead. That's what I've been doing with that Maeda. Is there anybody got any different ideas?
Aye, the referee.
I was going to say that. He'll be instantly red carded.
Yeah, right away. do it right away at the start of the game. He might say off, right, hold on a minute, we've just kicked off. I'm not getting into sending anybody off. Because there's a lot of pressure on Colin to get this game right himself. So I don't think he would be...
Because he's got to go his
I don't
working
think he'd be quite scared.
There's a lot of pressure on him because he's got to go his working Monday, mate. But listen, I don't think my Maid is rapid. He's no slow south side, right? I don't think he's lightning pace, right? He might be quicker than Tav. What he is he keeps going and he's got that engine in him and he's a pest, right? And it's effective at times. But if you notice, most games he disappears. It usually goes off at part of the game, because he's ran his race. And that's usually if you think back, in a couple of games that we've then went and tapped, and that's when you've got to... If we'd have took our chances in the first game at Parkhead, it'd been different. We got a good goal chopped off. We got a good goal chopped off against them at Ibrox, let's be honest. And then we made enough error to give them the winner just before half time. We huffed and puffed in the second half. Davy's point about the first half at Ibrox, aye, he's right. We could have been 4 down, but we did score 4 good goals in the second half because it was the wind affected that game. So it was a bit of a freakish game. But Davy's point, we never get started. We need to start properly. We need to keep the ball. And if we get chances, Southside, we need to take them.
Aye, 100%. It's how you start. And like I said, you will need ball carriers in this game and all. We need, if it goes with a 4-2-3-1, then we need ball carriers to get us up the park at times. We can't just be going and lumping the ball up the park to nobody if it's just going to come back, which happened. And we need to start off right on the front foot and make sure that we're tight. They're at home. You'll expect them to come at your first 10 minutes. Just if you reverse the fixture, it's the way we should be doing it against them at Ibrox. That's what they think in their head. The Rangers are at home. They're going to come out and start fast. They got a fluke in the first 20 seconds the last time. A fluke. The wind did have bits to play in it. And Maeda, I think he is quick. I think he works hard. He shuts down. But he never done anything in the second half when we played them at Ibrox. He wasn't effective against us. No, because he was on the back foot. I just think when you go there, they just think we're going to be predictable. And we've got players that a lot of us could pick the night and say, well, if he dropped him, I didn't have him and used him and him. It wouldn't probably bother us as long as we get that day and get the victory. But he has to pick the right team. But I just think tactically, we should just do something different. What have we got to lose? The form and the shape we've been in has been patchy at times. Like I said, St Mirren, they were shocking. The vast majority of that team were shocking. The best pass of the day was Diamondi. That's what you want him to do. You want him further up the park, getting on the ball and doing things like that. We don't want him back chasing bodies and not being effective. We've got to have players that can affect. We've got players there that can affect the game ups, and that's what we've got to do on Saturday.
You know my trouble, and I've been pointing out to you for months. You know that even before I mentioned on the show about the way the midfield is, with the play a straight vertical line, mate. Yeah,
but because Lundstrom drops in, I mean he drops in right on top of the backs. That's when it creates. We've only got Diamondi in there, then and there's that big huge hole in the centre circle where we don't have a player.
Yep, and then because Cantwell's up, usually Cantwell's in front of him, and it's like a straight line up the pitch. Listen, I get what the manager's trying to do. And I know the problem, but the problem is that if you do that, people know where they can play the ball and there's gaps and where they have to run into and there's no bodies there. That's the problem. You know, it's just the way I see it, Boaster.
100% correct. And I know you have. Give credit to you. You've said it all season, some of the rest of us. And I get the manager, and his thoughts are he wanted to play with 2 wingers. But unfortunately, even when Seymour was fit, guys, we still never had an outside right. We've never had an outside right that's been anywhere near decent enough. And I know we McCausland, they gave him a couple of chances. As I say, the ironic thing was, the last game at Parkhead, we had 4. This is what's doing my nutting. Because I've watched it back, we had 4 gilt-edged chances in that first half, and we took neither of them. And then we come out at the start of the second half, and that wee Jap scores a worldly. Game over. So when you've got chances, as we've all said, especially you must take them. And it's not as if we didn't. We actually had 4 cracking chances right in front of our goalie. The one with Dessers was just unbelievable. He never even flipping hit it. But we McCausland had 4 cracking shots. Unfortunately, two went wide and Hart saved one. So the chances were there. But I just feel, no, he can't play with Diamondi and just Lundstrom in the middle. He's leaving it. He just leaves Cantwell and that totally isolated.
Right,
They've got quicker players and they run through.
Here's one for you. If you were going to play that setup, could you go with your 4-5-1? Could your 4-5-1 be, and I'll let you come in. Davey, you can come in first, then we'll go back to Blue Star. Right, you set up with the back 4, and then on the right, just for this game, and he played there in Benfica, you have Dujon Sterling, and then beside John Lundstrom, you have John Lundstrom, Nico Raskin, along with Diamondi, and then you put Ian Other out in the left, and that could be Cantwell. And all of a sudden, there's your team's changing. And then you give Lawrence and Cantwell license along with Diamandi, but you've always got the 2 sitters in there. Yeah? Just a bit different. I would prefer Sterling in the middle, but I don't think you could play Raskin wide right, if that makes sense. Old Davey, then Blue Star, then Big Stevie.
I would go with that 100%. I couldn't have said it any better. There's no any way better to say that. That is sort of what we should be doing. But whether that's workable is down to the manager. But it sounds very good to me. And I'd just like to compliment Big Stevie on his William Fulton escapades. That's take my hat off to you, big man. It's a great gesture. But I would go with that 100%. Sorry, all day long with that set up. No danger.
Our next project is we're trying to get you window clearing free for a year.
I've sacked her.
Blue Star.
I don't. The only problem I've got with that, Ox, honestly, I'm not being funny. He played the big guy with Lundstrom in the middle of the park for 6 games, as you know, and I think that's when it turned due, and we never lost one of the games. We won all 6, and then automatically he was shifted out to the right. And I get his philosophy. He's probably looking at it and think because he's got a big physique and he's got a wee burst of pace, I get it. But I just feel he's getting ruined out there. I think he's far, far better if he's playing in. I think that it'd be ideal along with Lundstrom and Diamondi. And as Southside said, and you said, Diamondi in that last game there, that's the first game we've seen him in Yonks. He was actually getting forward and having digs at the ball and shooting. He's got the ability, but he's getting left with Lundstrom too often, and he's playing far too deep. You play the big guy in there, and there's nobody taking liberties with Sterling. Let's no kid ourselves on. To me, he's ineffective out in the right, Ox. I'm saying it. To me, he's ruined out there. I think you've got to play him where he's effective and play another out there. Lawrence can play that. If him and Cantwell's drifting or whatever, and you're showing the midfield up and let they 2 go and drift whenever we've got the ball, our players will find them. They will. But Sterling's got to play in the middle of that part. For me, it's an absolute must. It's got to.
Cheers, mate. Big Stevie, you're in Southside.
I can only agree with what Blue Star says there. Tom Lawrence, you can play him out in the right and let him drift in the way. He's got some shot, and with the goalie go out there at the weekend, he'll get a lift out of that. So for me, Sterling's in the middle of the park all day long. We've got to do something different, guys. We can't have that big gap. We've been saying it, we've all seen it, and we've all been saying it now for weeks. And we'll get overrun. If he plays it the way he is, we'll get overrun. Because as they found Diamondi, he's running about like a maniac, trying to keep that whole big bit of the park and keep it. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. So for me, we've got to try it, think outside the box a wee bit, do something different. But it's down to players, and Blue Star's probably right again when he says it's down to players. It's about their desire, their application. It's about, they need to dig deep here, Ox. They need to give everything. They need to play as if their life depends on it. If they do that and they all play to what they can do, then we're just a good a shout of winning the game is what they are. Put it that way.
Southside.
I think as we've got options in the midfield that we can mix it about if you would ever consider putting a 5 in there. Like you said, some people could say, well, just take Lundstram out of there or regular, put Sterling in there, have Diamondi in there. You can have, like you said, you could even add Dowell into there in the midfield. You could play him on the left slightly if you played 5. But if you had Lundstram, say you had Lundstram, Sterling, Diamondi, you could have Dowell slightly left and have Cantwell in there for talking's sake. I've left out Raskin, I've left out Lawrence, but you could either put either one of them in. Dowell, I thought maybe getting on the ball, we win the ball in there, get at him, he can carry the ball up the park, he can get you up the park. He'd also go and shut down Alistair Johnson should he want to come down the park when they've got the ball. When they're playing at a crosshair, he's the one you'd release out the 5 to go and shut down the left. And if you're playing over on the right, goes and shuts down their left back if he's when they're trying to build. And we're solid in the middle of the park. You've got your number 10 and Cantwell in there who'll shut down when the centre backs get the ball. And then the rest of them are all compact in the midfield. So you're going to force them to knock the ball long. So it's about us changing the tactics on them, and depending on who you do, I think that suits us better. Or some might be thinking you could play Silva wide left sort of slightly in a 5 and have him try to get up the park more attacking and maybe somebody more defensive minded. But whatever it is, we've got to control the game. And for us to control the game, I think we all agree that that's the best way to do it. Blue Star, do you think we can go up there and win on Saturday? Do you believe in all that we can go up here and win on Saturday?
If he stuck, I'm being truthful. If he stuck to the 2 in midfield, I think I don't see us winning the game. No, I think if he plays Sterling in the middle of the park, I'm being truthful. I think they'd have the muscle because you got to remember what their midfield is: O'Reilly, Hatate, and probably McGregor. None of they 3 is taking the ball off that big guy. None of them. He puts fear into them. He puts fear into any team, especially if he's playing in the middle of the park. You play these 3, and whoever you're going to play, either 2 in front of them and Dessers, or 2 to the either side of them, which I would prefer, but I don't see him doing it. But if he plays Sterling in the middle of the park, I think we've got a brilliant chance. Honest I do, because I think we'll win most of the ball in the middle of that park, and they'll be able to push it through to whoever. But I think he's got to start with him there. Honest I do. I think if he doesn't start with him there, I think he's playing into their hands. That's my honest opinion.
Southside, do you want to come back, Nick?
Well, I think, listen, I know we'll be more open, Blue Star, but my honest opinion is I think if we go with the 4-2-3-1, we can still go up there and beat them. It's a game of football. I know our record's no great, but I always believe we can go up there and win. They're not any great shakes. They've got loads of weaknesses in their team. Left back, centre back, right back, they concede goals. I agree that they're 3 in the midfield. If you give them space and time, can be hurtful. Getting boys forward in that and getting boys through to where it might cause us problems. I agree if you had Sterling, Lundstram and Diamondi in there, whatever, match it up with A3, plus you play an extra 2 bodies in there, then it gives us more control of the midfield.
Far more.
And I've heard a boy shouting on YouTube, no Dowell. Listen, the thing about Kieran Dowell would be as well. Listen, the manager brought him back in and gave him some game time. Was he good in most of the games? No. Right. But how many of these players that were played every week have been good? You know? So we're looking for a big performance after them all, whoever he picks. And we've already said we'd have 5 and change it about a bit. And hardly anybody says Silver in their team, and he's picked every week. So it's about changing things a bit. Dowell has got legs. He can get forward. He could carry up the park if we've got 5 in the midfield. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but I'm just saying he could be effective. If he's no, then he'll be on the bench, because at some point we'll have to make subs. So so he might be on the bench. You might have Raskin on the bench and that, and your pal Scott Wright, or you never know, Scott Wright might be a player. You know, so listen, we know what we want. We want a Rangers victory at the end of the day. But some of us are seeing it slightly different, which is good for opinion, that I think if we tweaked it slightly and didn't base the opening the game, I think it would give Mary a chance.
100%.
Listen, if I was picking a team, and maybe Big Phil wants to use a phone, I have volunteered to go up and do the corner kick, so I think one session I could sort all that out, David. Right, but if I was picking a team, I'd get Sterling in the midfield for Boyster. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. But I was just giving an option in the right to try and get the 5 in and have your cover in the wing, because if you did play with that 5 and your 2 wide men, or say Cantwell Lawrence or Cantwell Silver, it gives you another issue because they're no defensive minded. Now, if you take Silver and you get the Benfica performance out of Silver, yeah, and he plays like he did away in Benfica because he's playing, and you'd be doff your hat at the boy. But if you take Silver and you get a performance like he gave us in Ross County, well, that comes two different things. Davy?
Yeah, you're spot on. Well, Ox, I'm just going to retire for the night. It's getting at that time of night. I'll leave you to carry on. It's been a great debate, guys, and it's been very positive talks. That's what we really need. So I'll say good night. I've got to go next door and pay this window cleaner. Got to go to bed.
Right, no bother. You have a nice summer, and we'll maybe speak to you in August, all right?
Thanks for taking my call. God bless you, dears. Good night.
You've got to have a dig at me. He loves it Southside, doesn't he, really?
Aye, he always joins in the banter, as old Davy.
We don't mean it, people. We don't mean it. We love our Davy. We're only joking. Yeah. He's a top man, isn't he? Stevie.
Yep, it definitely is. Aye, he's some man, old Davy, man.
Aye, come and join us. Give us your thoughts as we build up to the last half hour of the show. 0141 356 1972. Aye, we get it. Right, here's playing devil's advocate again. Here's the problem with the system we've come up with between us. If you like the playing the 4-5-1, let's also be honest. It'll be Dessers up top. He's not going to keep the ball, and the ball's always going to be coming back towards your goal. Blue Star.
That's true, but at the same time, if you're playing 5 across the middle of the park, it's got to go through them first. Their main point, they've got a couple of fast guys up front. They don't really carry the ball apart from Maeda. The wee guy just floats about up there. In fact, most of the game you don't see him at all, the wee Jap guy. So it's about them punching balls through to him. So you nullify their 3 in the middle of the park, and we've got most of the ball. Therefore, if we've got 2 that can drift forward to help Dessers out, we're carrying the ball and hitting them where they're exploited. And their weak point, we all know, is their defence. Far, far, million times worse than ours. We've just not been getting at them enough because we're giving them too much play in the middle of the park. You've got to stop it at source, and that's their 3 in the middle of the park. You nullify them, and it's in our favour. 1,000,000% it is. We've got better footballers. In my opinion, we have Lawrence and Cantwell. If they're getting plenty of the ball, they'll cause damage. And so will Silver. He proved it there against St Mirren. You've seen what he can do. He played a far better game than he's done in months. So if he's getting players in defence that aren't great defenders, and they're no, and we stop their 3 in the middle of that part, they're not going to get plenty of balls getting punched through to our defenders. And like Stevie says, he's bang on. If Maeda's is pushed through the odd time, then that's up to Taft to do his job and kick the ball out away from him or put him up in the air. That's what he's there for. But if you stop at its source, that's the 3 in the middle of the park. Everything goes through the 3. You stop them and you play 3 against them. As I say, for me, Big Sterling's the main man. They'll be crapping themselves against him because he's a massive unit. He's far big. It's not until you're up close to him you see just how big that guy is. Gosh, I used to think Big Alberts was big. Sterling's flipping huge compared to him. They'll not be pussyfooting wee Hattati and McGregor pussyfooting against him. And Diamondi's better than what we think. He'll be able to get forward too. It's shoring up against A3. That's their link. That's their link. You must stop them. You stop them and we'll get more of the ball than what they will.
Southside.
I was going to ask, just come into my head, see if he goes up here and he plays the 4-2-3-1, right? And he doesn't think of tweaking it. Does everybody still think that that's what he just believes in? He'll no change it regardless, because that's his philosophy, the same as Gerrard had one, Beale had one, and Thingmy had one, Gio.
I don't mind if it goes with that, mate, but if something's not working, you have to have flexibility in your system.
Definitely. Plus the fact, guy, that Southside and Ox, do you know what?
One at a time, mate, just wait. But if you don't have flexibility in your system, Southside, in all games to change things, what's the point of having a manager at the side of the park, mate?
I know, but what I'm saying is he's not really, apart from personnel, changing it if it's not working. He's not actually changed the system, you know?
No. He has, away to Benfica, they played a 4-4-1-1, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, it was pretty noticeable. But no, I was just, listen, I believe the players that can do it. You know, I don't see why we can't. We know where they've got strengths, but we know what their weaknesses are, you know? You know, and we are a weak, you will be fearful slightly, like, listen, if we were going up there with a proper fit squad, and we were up there with, say, Cortez, Sima and Danilo, then they'd have a lot more to worry about than what they've actually got up front against us, Ox. No.
We're not gonna wait to Dortmund. We're not gonna wait to
No. And the teams produce good results, so we've got nothing to fear. It's a game of football, and you can't predict these games. That's the thing. You can always think you can, but you know yourself, they're unpredictable at times. Anything can happen in this type of game. You know, and we've seen it for a number of years, Blue Star, as we've said. We've watched many. And there's times where...
Sorry, Southside. Sorry, mate.
No, you're
here's one of the issues I've got, guys. It's one thing playing that system if you've got two speedsters, as he calls it, two wingers. We've not got that. If you take away our two wingers, whether it's Seamer or whoever else, Matondo, for instance, right, and you're not playing with two speed guys on the wings, who do you honestly think we've got in our team that are actually running at defences with their ball at their feet? I'll tell you right now, we don't have any. Canwell and Lawrence are the speedsters. What they do is they try and carry the ball, but we don't have anybody that actually runs with that ball at their feet, and that's a big letdown for me. Therefore, trying to play with two in midfield, I don't care what MD says, if you're not playing with guys that are really runners I'm talking about, that's not working. For me, it's never worked. I know we've had results, but for me, it's not a good system, certainly not in our league, because we don't have guys that run with that ball at their feet. We're trying to, even if you watch St Mirren, and Ox, you were spot on, I brought that point up even before you did, about the last, when we went 3-1 up about the 20 minutes, we ended up reverting back, especially coming for Lawrence. He was turning his back and passing the ball back to our defenders as if that was a game won. We can't have that out of our club. And I'm not talking, we all know we would have took 4-1 before the game started. That's not the point. The name of the game is scoring as many goals as you can. You don't just sit back. Therefore, see if you've got guys for your midfield to your front line, and you've at least got two or three that are quick in their feet, and they're actually running with the ball at their feet, taking a player on. We lack that. We lack that considerably. Therefore, for playing two in the middle of that park, it's a non-starter for me, unless you're playing with two decent wingers. We've not got that. So, I'm saying if he starts with that 4-2-3-1, my heart's in my mouth, and I don't want that. I want three in the middle of that park all day long.
But the manager,
I've been saying...
Right. On you go, Stephen.
No, I was just going to say, it says we've not got that. Listen, I've been banging the drum now for God knows how long about we've not got enough iron in my team. And you've got a bit of iron there with the big boy Sterling. But we need to play him in position. We need to play him in the right position. We have no iron. We have nobody to look at. When the teams are going to turn and go, oh man, I'm up against him today. There's nobody fearing any of our players. Apart from, I would honestly say, Big Boy Sterling. Big Boy Sterling's solid. And I think they would be worried. If they knew the team the Celtic players knew the team now, and they knew he was in the midfield. Hattati, McGregor, the traitor, and the other boy, David be worried about the big man running at them in that midfield, buzzing about there with him. I think the big man would have them in their back pocket. For me, Clement's got to get it right on Saturday, and the players have got to have absolute everything, and it can be done.
Of course it can. Of course it can. Southside, look, maybe we should have 5 Sterlings in the team, and then we'll be all right. But he can't be everywhere.
A team of Davy Wears.
Aye, a team of Davy Wears. Aye. Good point you make. But listen, just an interesting one. Who do you think will play at left back?
I think Ridvan plays at left back. And I think Ridvan comes in. And it suits us better because if he plays balls in, he gives away a few, right? But he tries to play that forward pass. We've seen the way he can come inside, and the odd time he can carry the ball a bit more forward. I think if we'd an out-and-out winger like with Cortez, I think him, Diamandi and Cortez would have formed a good partnership up that left-hand side for us in time. But then he went out injured. I think he's strong in the tackle. I think he lacks obviously the height aspect, but listen, apart from that, he's all in. He doesn't mind a tackle. So he's lacking a bit of the fitness levels because it could be a bit fast and furious, but it'll only be that way if we allow it. It'll only be that way if we allow it. Listen, we're talking as if we have to go up there and play a 4-5-1. We'd like to. We don't have to. We've been up there and we just get beaten. They were hanging on the last time up there with 10 men. We only had 10 men. No. So it proves that the system can work. We've had slow starts. We've not even started the Ibrox. We put 4 by them in the second half, albeit with 1 chopped half. So they aren't the world beaters. That's the thing we need to remember. They're no world beaters. They might have 3 decent players in the midfield if you let them play. Aberdeen stuck 3 big goals by them at Hampden.
Yeah.
No. So they leak goals. We need to remember that. Aye, we've got a guy up front who wasn't the best of form there on Sunday. Never near it. But we've got other players that can do the damage. And like I said, if he can turn up this week and get a few chances, I'm sure this time he'll probably hit the back of the net. I'm sure if we create them, somebody will take them. But it's no, we can't be on the back foot for the start and be on the back foot for long spells in the game. And then you can think, oh, well, it's only a matter of time. We need to make sure we impose ourselves. And we want a bit of strong battling thing in the midfield. But whatever team he picks, we need to go with it and hope that the 11 players get out there and fight for the jersey. But we need to just get out and play football. That's what we need to try and do, Ox. You know, they're no unbeatable. And that's the thing, they're no unbeatable. A lot of Rangers supporters have already got us beat before we even got up there. No, certainly no. You know.
But if you could pick one player, Blue Star, who's, if you like, maybe not 100% fit, or if you could bring him back for injury, he's a magic wand for this game in the squad at the moment, who would it be?
Oh, you'd be playing Seema all day long, wouldn't you?
Where would you play him?
I'd play him on the left, or I'd play him. I'd see if we were playing a 4-5-1, like we're talking about, I'd play him straight through the middle. Too right, I would.
I would play him on the right to get in top of Taylor, mate.
Well, he's a weak link too, yeah. But there's a great point you brought up. Who would you play on the right to get at Taylor? The knowing that we've no got Seema.
Oh, interesting, mate. With the personnel we've got.
With the personnel we've got, who can we play out there that's actually getting us forward? We're struggling.
You would either go with young Ross, or you would maybe play Cantwell or Lawrence out there, and it's no ideal, you know. And then you're back to when the manager tried to the game at Ibrox when he started Scott Wright, Stevie. Well,
correct.
You know.
Not going to no mention his name, but talking about
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
We're trying to be positive here, Ox. Come on. Don't even mention the boy, man. Honestly. I'm not even answering you now. You've put me in a bad mood.
I'm sorry, I apologise. I feel as if I've let myself down, my country down, my parents, my school teacher.
You have. I've been positive all night. You Scott, right?
Sorry, Southside, I'm sorry.
He's the only one that you mentioned that's got practical pace that could and should, if he was ever picked in the team, to get on the ball and do what he's meant to do. Go and commit the defender, get to the byline, cut inside him, whatever. Just go by him. Because he's the only one, as you said, you could maybe go with a Tom Lawrence out there. McCausland would probably link up all right with Tav because they've got a better understanding. They'd be playing in that sort of position a lot longer before Ross got injured when he first came in. But it might keep Taylor occupied to a point. But either that, or like you're saying, you would probably take away if you can't. Well, if you'd put him out there. But depending on how you were rejigging your team, then it might suit him to have him out there for a period of time. Get him on the ball. He doesn't need to play totally wide all the time. But Sterling out there, I think, is a waste. I think you need a bit of creativity. You need somebody to go on the ball and go. I know he'd done a good thing on Sunday, knocked the ball around the guy, and he get by him. But you need a bit of creativity. You need somebody that can cross a ball in or whatever, or a bit of finesse. And I think he has. If you're going to play him on the park, especially for this game on Saturday, it would be in the middle of the park for me.
Aye, well, and if I had everybody fit, it would be Seamer. I agree with both Star there, but obviously he's no fit. But be interested to see how it pans out, Steve, here.
Definitely. Listen, Southside said it. Well, listen, we all know the faults, the strengths, and everything else. It's just down to these boys that are getting out. They know what they've got behind them. They know. Clement, for me, has got to get it spot on. I just think the middle of that part, it's do or die. It's going to be that's going to win the game for us. If we flood that midfield and keep the three quiet, I think we won that game. And I think we could win it comfortably in the end if we do the right thing. Because, see, we go 1-0 up, they're going to push and we could catch them. You know what I mean? In the break. So, for me, it's about the midfield, Docs. It really is. I mean, you can talk about your man with Tav. He just runs like a headless chicken. He'll run all day long for them. He'll close down. He'll press. He'll do things like that. That's his game. But he's not got an ounce of football in his head. He's just a runner. He runs about like a headless chicken. He doesn't worry me. If Tav can be on his game, he doesn't worry me. The midfield's my worry. If we win that midfield battle, we win that game.
I see that in most games, but it doesn't always work out like that, mate. But in most games, it does, mate. It does. If you do dominate, because the team with possession. I think I read somebody 19% possession of the game during the meeting. It was the Aberdeen manager against Malmo. I think they beat them 2-0 or 3-0. The new Aberdeen manager, they had 19% possession. Won the game 2-0 Southside.
His teams could have possession against you as long as it's not where it's going to hurt you. Do you know what I mean? You don't mind. But listen, as we said, this is just a game of football. And going into it, we've not been in great form. But who cares? All you need to do is just get your 11 players turning up on the day. And if you can get 11 of them turning up and playing to their form, then that should be good enough. I expect it. But you know yourself, no everybody turns up on the day. Sometimes you'll carry a passenger. Matondo's another one. He could be somebody that could cause problems for a wide area with pace that can get at them, either going through the middle or going wide, whatever. But you seen the tackle that happened at Hampden when the two of them just sort of collided with him. I thought it looked like one of they two get more injured than Matondo did, and he's no available. So we'll see if he's going to be available for Saturday, because he'd be somebody that, should you play it or tweak the system or want to play somebody wide with a bit of pace, then he's ideal, isn't he?
I'd also like to see him maybe coming on for half an hour to go. I think that's when the influences again based. Bizarrely, I don't think he's like a prawn cocktail. He's not a great starter, you know what I mean?
Southside was talking about people turning up. Did you hear about the farmer that died? He had a big turn up at his funeral.
dear, oh dear. Southside, I told you should have got that Willie Daniel for his Christmas dinner.
Let's get in the colour and bouting cranes the next time.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Aye, we'll see how it goes. But listen, interesting debate. You know, I get it. I'm in the boys' star camp. I don't mean camp as boys' star, but I think that the best period of football we played was that period with Lundstrom and Sterling were together with different people running about him. And I think it's because of the pace of the guy he carries us in there. And if you also think back to the last game at their place, with 15 minutes to go, Sterling was knocking them out and running forward and creating all sorts of mayhem just with his pace and power. Poster.
Yeah, 100%. And as I say, a good manager is you've not just got to think about your own team. You've got to try and think if you've got danger against you. You've got to try and think about nullifying them. Their main bit is their three in the middle of that park. And the way they rave about that O'Reilly and that flipping wee Tatty, that's another story altogether. You put Big Sterling in there, I'm telling you, they're not getting that ball. You've got Diamondi on either side of him, and you've got Lundstrom. Irrespective of where you play the three of them, if you play them on that halfway line, they're going to get most of that ball. I'm 100% sure of it. And that nullifies them. And then it's up to our three to spray the balls to the players that are going to be moving forward. You win that midfield, you win that game. I'm 100% sure of it.
Right. We win the midfield, don't you go, Southside?
Sorry, see this when we're talking about this, right? But see, what does that message send out to the players if he really dramatically changed the system to a 4? Walter done it right, but he done it when we're playing Barcelona and things like that. And he done it through the Europa League run.
We also done it when we played them sometimes.
Aye, but.
Do you really think that's changing it that much, Southside? Instead of playing 2 in the halfway line, you're playing 3? I don't.
No, because see, sometimes when you look at the system at Ibrox, when you're sitting there, as I said, sometimes you don't always see it like when you're watching the games in the telly, and even when we do, I've watched games in the telly in the past, you don't see always boy star. Sometimes we do set up like when they're going to take a goal kick, it looks like a 4-3-3 at times as you see it on the park. 2 wide, Dessers up front, and you've got 3 across the midfield. You know, it doesn't look.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying
and...
is, if you're playing Sterling on the right, Southside, I don't need to be in the ground to know what I'm watching. The guy is totally, most games he's ineffective playing outside right.
Because he's too far up.
You're taking away, you're wasting a player there. I don't care what MD says. Sterling's wasted out in that right, wasted. It's different if you've got a guy
Clement doesn't move for the system, but he's not moving for it. See if he's going to play a 4-2-3-1. Sterling's wasted in that 3 out there, right? He's wasted out wide. So
that's what I'm saying.
He has to. I agree with Ox. The only position I would play him, and I still don't think long term will ever be in there, but I would play him in. I'd play him in there. If you're playing a 3, I agree. The A3 line up the A3 against the A3. You know, that's what you should probably do and win your battles. 100%. That's it. Win your battles that day against him.
It'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll debate it for noon Friday, Stevie. Yeah.
Yep. I think there's not a truer word says, and win your personal battles and then start playing as a team and give everything. Blood, sweat and tears, man. That's what it's all about. But it's down to Big Phil. Big Phil's got to have a plan A and a plan B in case things aren't going right. And I've no doubt the big man will.
I've got a question for you, Zen. We win the midfield battle. Who's putting the ball in the net for us? Southside.
CD9. He's due one. He got one then chopped half. He's due one. He's due 2 actually. So CD9, he gets into the positions. Look, I know he had a howler on Sunday. Let's not be kidded. don't know why he didn't have a couple first time, but I think if we can get him into the next position, into the right positions on Saturday, I believe he'll stick the ball in the back of the net.
Have we ever had a striker that's got in so many goal scoring opportunities, Poster?
In recent years, no.
Ever, mate? Ever in the modern era?
No, for the amount of chances he's had, no. I can't remember somebody. I mean, we all know Ali. Ali would maybe get 5 chances, maybe score 2 and miss 3. And the following game he'd score 3 and miss 2. Dessers is nowhere near that. For a guy that's had the opportunities that he's had, and most of them, the annoying thing is most of them, you're saying yourself they're not even hard chances, and he makes them hard. They just can't put them away. We Morelos just didn't score enough, but you had to give him credit. They knew that when he was on the park, he could hold the ball up and nobody could get the ball off him. Dessers can't do that. He's just an enigma. He really is. For me, you'd need to be playing a proper goal scorer alongside him at all times, because if you're relying on him winning you a game, you're struggling. I'm saying it 1,000,000%. But as Stevie says, if for any time this is the time to do it, he's due to score goals at some point, surely. I mean, he's only got 14 league goals. Forget this 20 carry on. He's got 14 league goals and he's played virtually every game this season. That's just, it's no good at all.
You can't deny me, Southside, that he does get any goal scoring opportunities. I'm not saying he scores all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot deny.
Listen, they tried Silva through the middle, and Silva didn't get into half the chances that Dessers seems to find himself in. He obviously knows where to sort of go, apart from when the ball's coming wide or getting in the box. He doesn't seem to be making that run where certain players had the knack. Roof had it, Boyd had it, McCoist had it, you know, and Stephen Naismith, to a point, could get himself into the box and positions and get on the end of things. Kenny Miller to a point, but he was more running the channels. He's not that type instinctive. He doesn't seem to have that brain capacity that seems to go and drift into a place where you think the ball's going to land, and he doesn't want to seem to take a shot straight away. He's time. He should have more goals, but as we talked about before, Ox, we've been doing this road. There's no many strikers in the last while that scored 20 odd league goals a season at Rangers. Jelavic couldn't do it.
He's got 14 league goals in 20. Sorry, let me just get this right. 14 league goals in 24 starts and 8 substitute appearances.
He had that wee run where he scored a few. Remember, I think he scored 2 against Hearts or something, then scored against Hibs or something, then scored against somebody else, and then the full week he expected me to start, come on, took him out of the team. And I think he missed about 2 or 3, and then he came on as a sub. Listen, he should have more league goals, but when we keep going on about players and as we talked about, there isn't many players in the last wee while that have scored more than 20 league goals a season.
No. Anyway, we've reached that time of evening. Last word for your good self, Blue Star.
Whatever 11 he puts out, they've got to give their all. If we get beat and they give their all, then we can't complain too much. But we don't want to be seeing them, certain ones getting out and playing wee pussyfooting for 20 minutes or something, then you don't see them again. As Stevie says all night, whatever 11's out there, they must get tore in. They get tore in and give their all, and we're hopeful. But thanks for taking my call, guys. Great show as usual. We are the people.
All right.
Southside.
Hi, thoroughly enjoyed the show tonight, mate. Good to be on my big China and your good self, and good to hear a few of the callers phoning in tonight. Looking forward to Saturday. Unfortunately, we'll not manage to be in the grunt to support the famous Glasgow Rangers, but there'll be millions round watching the telly, mate, and we'll be doing the same thing, cheering them on. So fear no foe, mate, as we always say. Nothing to be scared of on Saturday at all. Nothing. Just got up there. Hopefully the Bears will put on a better performance than recently, and we'll get the right result. So thanks for having us on tonight. And it's always the same. One team, one crown, pal.
Cheers, brah. Big Steve.
Aye, good debate, mate. Good debate. Good to hear Blue Star on. And old Davey coming onto the platform and talking a lot of sense. For me, they're Glasgow Rangers players. They've got to fight and die on Saturday. They've got to win their personal battles, and they've got to give blood, sweat, and tears. They do that, and Big Phil gets his tactics right. We've got just as much a good as chances, but they have even way home advantage. Thanks for having us on tonight, Ox. It was great to be on with Southside, my wingman. Listen, passionate guy. Southside's a passionate guy about his team. Spends thousands following that team all over the world. And listen, it's guys like him that team needs to dig, draw a line, dig their heels into the sand, clench their fist, bite their bottom lip, and get stuck into these people on Saturday. Good night. God bless the Glasgow Rangers.
Thanks to your good self, Stevie Southside, for doing the show. Blue Star and the one and only old Davey for joining us on the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Fox for all his tunes tonight. What a man. What a man. Thanks to everybody for listening. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. Talking about all time Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Our country, our colours white and blue. We're Protestants and proud of it. We're known from near and far. Glasgow Billy Boys, they call us. Hurrah, hurrah, we are the Billy Boys. Hurrah, hurrah, we make a lot of noise. We're up to here, we never fear. We all are Billy's sons. We are the Glasgow Billy Boys. On the 12th day of July, you'll find us in the walk with our brother Orange men. There's Sandy, Bill and Jack. Willie is our hero, he beat them at the Boyne. Glasgow Billy Boys, they call us. Hurrah, hurrah, we are the Billy Boys. Hurrah, hurrah, we make a lot of noise. We're up to here, we never fear. We all are Billy's sons. We are the Glasgow Billy Boys. We believe in freedom. We won our fight that day at the Battle of the Boyne. We're very proud to say James, he was defeated. Justice had been done. Raise now